Welcome to our channel. Embark on a journey through our video series dedicated to comprehensively covering the content of the CITB book, Health, Safety and Environment Test for Managers and Professionals. Throughout these videos, we delve into the crucial topics outlined in the book. Section A, Legal and Management. Section B, Occupational Health, Well-being and Welfare. Section C, General Safety. Section D, High-risk activities. Section E, Environment. Section F, Specialist activities. In this particular video, we focus on Section C, 15 Site Transport Safety for your convenience. A link in the top right corner of the video allows easy navigation through the entire series. We are certain that by engaging with this video series, you will be thoroughly equipped to effectively handle your CSCS card. Keep in mind, the CSCS test typically lasts around 45 minutes, and scoring at least 45 out of 50 questions correctly is required to pass. Before we delve into the content, please show your support by liking and subscribing. Your support means a lot to us. Let's embark on this learning journey together.
If a plant operator loses sight of the banksman during a manoeuvre, what must they do? Stay on the planned route. Stop the vehicle immediately. Use the two-way radio to locate them. Only travel forward in the vehicle. An incident between two vehicles has led to a delivery lorry overturning. What is the most effective measure to reduce the risk of this type of incident happening again? Introduce designated exclusion zones for deliverers as well as for other site vehicles. Employ traffic marshals to control the movements of delivery vehicles. Erect safety warning signs at vehicle crossing points and around the site. Review traffic routes and implement one-way systems to control vehicle movements. You are managing groundworks for a project that has a number of deep excavations. You could prevent heavy vehicles from operating too close to the edge of an excavation by setting up stop blocks to make sure they do not overrun the excavation edge. Traffic management around the excavation edge for use during allocated time periods. Audible warnings that alert the plant operator when too close to the excavation edge. A system of physical barriers 3 meters away from the excavation edge. Precautions for maintaining good visibility between a vehicle operator and a traffic marshal are important and should include the marshal standing in a safe position where they can guide the reversing vehicle and continue to be visible to the operator at all times. Communicating with the operator by portable radio so that the operator can still reverse even if they lose sight of the marshal. Staying close to the vehicle when it is manoeuvring to ensure that they can be seen by the operator in the reversing camera. Wearing high-visibility clothing so that they can be clearly seen walking around the moving vehicle by the operator. Which one of the following is a method used by a banksman to direct plant on site? High-visibility flags. Coloured paddles. Hand signalling. Tannoy system. During site operations, it is not possible for a plant operator to achieve suitable all-round visibility from their operating position. Which two of the following measures will be most effective to protect people from harm? Ensuring that lights are fitted to plant and are used to properly illuminate the work area. Providing a competent, qualified vehicle marshaller to work exclusively with the plant operator. Ensuring that amber flashing beacons are fitted to the vehicle to warn of its presence. Implementing exclusion zones to prevent unauthorised access into any danger areas. Providing information on how to safely signal the operator and receive a positive response. If vehicles have to reverse in areas where other workers cannot be removed, you should ensure that all pedestrians in the area wear high visibility clothing. The driver has sufficient direct vision behind the vehicle. The driver has received additional Pass Plus training. Extra barriers are available to be used by pedestrians. The most effective way to manage the safe passage of pedestrians on a site is to paint pedestrian walkways on all haul roads. Highlight risks of plant operations to pedestrians. Separate pedestrian access from traffic routes. Restrict pedestrian access to specific times. Emergency street works involving the use of road-cutting saws and disc cutters are being carried out in a busy high street. Which two of the following are the most effective measures to reduce the risk of sparks and stone chips entering pedestrian areas? Shut down areas within a 10-metre radius of the work. Work at times when the public is less likely to be in the area. Provide solid barriers alongside the public areas. Use stacks of materials as temporary noise barriers. Provide suitable acoustic curtains near public areas. When establishing pedestrian routes on a site, they should provide vehicle and plant operators with a clear view of pedestrian routes. Have competent vehicle marshals available at pedestrian crossing points and gates. Provide pedestrians with a clear view of traffic movements at crossing points. Have access to work areas but not obstruct loading bays where plant takes priority. To ensure safe segregation between pedestrians and construction site plant, it is essential that the site has clearly signposted haul roads with enforced speed limits. Site officers are close to parking areas to avoid visitors crossing the site to gain access. All workers and visitors on site are issued with suitable high-visibility clothing. Contractors plan and manage their own walkways in line with work activities on site. Reversing vehicles cause a third of all fatal transport accidents in the construction industry. Which one of the following would be the most effective way to manage this risk? One-way systems implemented around the site and in loading areas. Warning lights and alarms providing both visual and audible warnings. Competent marshals or signallers in place across the site to warn drivers. Security camera systems fitted as standard with additional alarms if needed. According to the Health and Safety Executive, the majority of construction transport accidents result from inappropriate vehicles allocated to the wrong working tasks, inadequate segregation of pedestrians and vehicles, manufacturers' instructions for safe use being ignored, unsafe loading and transportation of materials on vehicles. The most effective way to prevent pedestrians being struck by moving vehicles or their loads is to provide traffic routes that are wide enough to accommodate a pedestrian walkway. Ensure that there are competent vehicle marshallers for every reversing movement. Allocate on-site parking for private vehicles that only allows direct access to work areas. Separate pedestrian walkways from plant and vehicles by using physical barriers. When planning a site layout, which one of the following actions would have the greatest impact in minimising the risk of vehicle-related accidents? Appointing a trained signaller who can control all vehicle movements. Checking that all vehicles are fitted with appropriate reversing alarms. Issuing all site personnel with a site plan showing vehicle routes. Providing drive-in, drive-out access to delivery and work areas. When planning a site layout, which two of the following measures could be taken to minimise the number of vehicle movements? Designing traffic routes with turning circles to avoid the need for reversing. Considering other methods than vehicles for moving materials across the site. Ensuring that trained signallers are available to control all vehicle movements on site. Ensuring that drivers can see site exits and pedestrians before crossing the footway. Designing groundworks to reduce the need to import fill or take spoil off-site. Considering pedestrians at the design stage of a project can reduce the amount of accidents involving vehicles reversing on site because it allows for detailed planning and control of vehicle movements at all times. Guarantees that enough parking spaces are allocated for every worker. Ensures the use of temporary surface grip materials, increasing vehicle stopping times. Identifies the ratio of people to vehicles, allowing for warning signs to be installed. To assess the likelihood and potential consequences of vehicle rollover on site, what should be taken into account when determining what safety features are needed? Measures that can be taken to avoid sudden movements of mobile work equipment. The type of the mobile work equipment and any attachments or accessories fitted to it. The risk of people being injured if the mobile work equipment comes to a sudden stop. Warning devices for mobile work equipment operators that indicate imminent danger. Which two of the following measures can reduce the risks to the public on partially completed housing development sites? Phased occupation of houses so that site traffic can be excluded from occupied areas. Scheduling of delivery management to prevent unexpected vehicles from entering the site. Segregation of public vehicle and pedestrian routes from site vehicles and worker routes. Provision of direct access to work areas along established primary pedestrian and traffic routes. Positioning of site officers and welfare facilities a safe distance from primary traffic routes. At the project planning stage, which one of the following must be considered for the safe management of deliveries to the site? Restrictions on site vehicle use. Proximity to schools and hospitals. Drivers working in public areas. Warning signs for pedestrians. Restrictions would not have to be placed on traffic movements to and from site when it is located close to a school, hospital, field, road. A site entrance can create hazards for the general public. Therefore, at the planning stage, it is important to first consider the size of delivery vehicles, the type of materials they will bring in and at what time, number and size of required road safety signs both inside and outside of the works, height of temporary lampposts erected and in which direction the light shines, proximity of schools, hospitals and built-up areas as well as possible busy periods. To minimise the risk of vehicle-related incidents during deliveries to site, which one of the following is an effective practical control measure for the safe management of deliveries? Divert pedestrians away from the site and provide information for routes to follow. Design storage compounds with enough space for delivery vehicles to turn round. Locate storage and loading areas near the entrance and off primary vehicle routes. Locate storage and loading areas away from areas of frequent pedestrian activity. When planning a safe system of work for traffic management and vehicle movements on a new project, which one of the following will help to effectively manage the risks occurring from delivery vehicles entering and leaving the site? Ensuring that delivery companies and drivers have the correct haulage licenses. Ensuring that delivery companies have advance notice of unloading arrangements. Ensuring that delivery drivers do not leave the cab of their vehicle while on site. Ensuring that delivery drivers only leave the site when the vehicle is sheeted. Which one of the following is a key task for principal contractors to ensure the safe management of pedestrian and vehicle movements on site? Indicating the maximum loading limits of floors used by vehicles. Specifying suitable profiles, surfaces and traffic management. Allowing suitable space around structures and site boundaries. Setting standards for driver competence and vehicle safety. To ensure that mobile work equipment can be used safely on site, pedestrian routes should be positioned only around vehicle car park areas with manned locked restriction gates. Planned in order to minimise disruption to the works on site, congestion and risk of collision. Established away from any overhead cables, underground cables, sewers, ducts or services. Segregated from plant and vehicles, either by safe distance or by physical barriers.
Congratulations on your progress. Every step brings you closer to your goals. Keep embracing knowledge until you achieve your desired success. Look for the link in the top right corner to seamlessly transition to the next video.